Hi, I'm Dylan Burdett, and this is my presentation over the taste test experiment for Dr. Bailey Norwood's Advanced Quant class. Experiment for what? Experiment for what? So, what was this experiment all about? Well, we conducted this experiment to find out how consumers' preferences affect their choice in sodas. This is between Sprite and Shasta Twist. This includes testing their preferences based on the taste of each drink and their visual perception of the drinks. Also being considered is how the consumer's preconceived notions towards the drink, whether it be prior consumption or label recognition, affects their decisions. The two questions we want to solve with this experiment are, in a situation where the subject does not know which drink of the two that they are consuming, which do they rate higher? And the second question being, in a situation where they drink the same soda out of two different cans, do they still show a preference for one based on visual appearances of the can? So with those in mind, let's move on to what challenges this experiment had for us. What makes doing this experiment difficult? Well, first off, some people come into the experiment already knowing that they like or dislike a certain brand. Cultural preference can come into play. If Old Pappy only drinks Sprite and can't stand Shasta Twist, then Junior will likely have similar tastes. So how do we account for this? Well, as Stephen Levitt describes in his podcast series, Freakonomics, specifically the one about his wine, the testing that he did there, by randomizing how the consumer takes the experiment, we can eliminate some of the bias. And here's a video of just a piece of the actual experiment. I'll play it for you. Okay, so now that you've seen a piece of the video, you're probably still wondering how it all works. Well, we set up the workstation near one of the buildings on campus and asked random students that walk by to participate in the experiment. These people are given a questionnaire labeled A or B, each with different randomizations of their own, so that everyone takes a similar test, but in a different order or with slight changes. The questions on the forms all pertain to their soda habits, like whether or not they drink soda or if they drink lemon lime drinks at all. We ask of any preferences for either drink and how much they like it also. So students putting on the experiment had individual duties as well. One set worked on recruiting subjects that were walking by for the test. Another set guides the subjects through the experiment, while in the background other students put together the tasting portion of the experiment and clean up any messes that might be made. After the experiment was completed, the data was input using a Google survey page to keep the data input uniform. That way, one person didn't put something that was capitalized, another person put something that was lowercase, and when we went to sort through the data, it showed two different variables. So they're all the same variables, they were just entered the count-wise. And I'll move on to the charts I've created to show you the results. So as you can see from this chart, the data shows that Shasta Twist and Sprite were fairly equal in the test, with the exception of a few people who rated Sprite as the highest. This is significant because our data shows that out of the 45 subjects, 40 of them actually said they preferred Sprite over Shasta Twist. The second chart, showing preferences based on the same soda in two different cans that we did during the experiment, tells us that the taste preferences for each type of soda does rely somewhat on the consumer's brand perception. Sprite and Shasta Twist were both similarly liked through this graph. Thank you for watching.